2022. It's been a hell of a year already for video game news, and even more so for Call of Duty. With Microsoft's acquisition of Activision and Blizzard, it's been an interesting year. What I'm going to say next is that Call of Duty is forever going to be changed because of this year, but not only for the Microsoft acquisition, for many reasons all encompassed into one. In this video, that is what we are going to be talking about, how Call of Duty is going to be changed forever moving forward starting in this year. And there's essentially three big reasons why I believe that, and three big reasons that I'm going to explain throughout this video. They're all very simple, but the more you look into them, the more complex they actually get. The last one, the one that we're going to look at the end of the video, definitely is the biggest reason, but the other two definitely are going to play into that as well. So let me explain exactly what I mean. Game sales. Game sales, in my opinion, at this time are not the only metric that should be looked at when it comes to the success of a video game, especially a game like Call of Duty. Yes, the numbers for Call of Duty Vanguard are very, very low compared to Black Ops Cold War and especially Modern Warfare. But you have to remember that that's not the only IP Call of Duty has going on right now. They also have Call of Duty Mobile. They also have Warzone. Warzone and Mobile have been pretty damn stable. However, the Vanguard sales have dropped very, very low, 40% lower than last year, which was already lower than Modern Warfare 2019. Because of this, it is kind of a make or break moment for Call of Duty. With this year's game rumored to be Modern Warfare 2, it should be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, Call of Duty launches ever. With the success of Modern Warfare 2019, you can only expect to see that once again. The question is, though, what happens if that doesn't happen? What if the game launches and it isn't good? Well, Call of Duty would be in a lot of trouble because of that, because if the sales are lower than this year, that's an all-time low. That's a big problem. With that, it lends to two options: either release games less often or go with a straight and direct free-to-play option. This year's Call of Duty is not going to be free-to-play, and the next thing we're going to talk about is going to support that even more, but they're kind of at this make or break moment. And generally speaking, when Call of Duty hits that road, they generally make it. This has been one of the biggest video games for over 10 years, 15 years at this point, and it seems like whenever they are crashing and burning, they get back, pull up their boots, and come out with something awesome. A good example of this is Infinite Warfare. Right now, the best developer for Call of Duty is Infinity Ward. Infinity Ward also made Infinite Warfare, one of the biggest flops of all Call of Duty games. They also made Call of Duty Ghosts, which was another big flop. But after that, there was always a game that came out that rejuvenated the series and people came back to the game. You could argue that that was Modern Warfare. You could argue that that was Warzone most recently. But needless to say, when their backs are up against the wall, they generally knock it out of the park. And that's what has to happen this year, or things are going to be forced to change in another direction. That's reason number one. Modern Warfare 2. So this is the rumored game. Let's be honest, it's the game that's coming out this year. And with it, we are getting all of the normal stuff. We have campaign, we have multiplayer. There's rumors and been talks about how the multiplayer is going to work, with the gunsmith being more refined than we've seen in the past two games, things along those lines. But needless to say, campaign, multiplayer, the campaign's going to feature Task Force 141. People are going to love that. I am looking forward to that. Really want to get back into the story videos that we've done over the past years, but it's very difficult in Vanguard. I'll talk about that in the next couple of weeks. But as far as the rest of the game goes, that is where we're going to see some changes, because with the new rumored Escape from Tarkov mode being called, I believe, DMZ, or that's the code name for it, that is a big deviation from what we know in Call of Duty. Normally it's a co-op mode or zombie, something along those lines. Now the question with this mode is it going to be behind the paywall? Do you have to buy the main game to play this? And as of right now, everything that we have seen leads us to believe that yes, it'll be behind the paywall. You have to pay for the game, and then you get it, and then you can play it, and whatever that game mode is going to be, that is how you will get your hands on it. Now, based off of what they are describing, I don't know if that's the right decision. When they're coming out with something like this, if it's as big as people are talking about, people might just want to play that alone. They might not want to play the multiplayer. They might not want to play the campaign, and forcing them to buy those could be a very large mistake. So if the game flops at launch and people aren't buying it, which I don't foresee happening, but if that happens, I wouldn't be surprised to see this mode somehow go standalone or work its way into Warzone in one way or another. However, at launch, it appears to be behind that paywall. But with this mode, this could be one of those things that changes Call of Duty forever. Because if you look back at Warzone, that was one of those things. It was a free-to-play mode that everyone hopped on board with, and now kind of cycles in with those yearly releases of Call of Duty. With another mode being introduced like that under the Call of Duty label, if they knock it out of the park, this could be a new staple within Call of Duty and something that's updated throughout each and every game, every single year, whenever there's updates, things along those lines. It'll be interesting to see how this fits in, if you want to call it, with the Call of Duty meta, but that is very well one of those things that could change things forever. With the recent and prolonged success of Escape from Tarkov, to see something compete with that really could change things up. But then we get into the biggest reason. So once again, this is coming back to the Microsoft acquisition. Now, we talked about this ad nauseum, and that's actually not what I wanted to talk about in this. But basically, if you didn't already know, Activision was bought by Microsoft, so was Blizzard. That means all of the Call of Duty games were bought by it. But this week, Bungie was purchased by Sony, which doesn't necessarily have anything to do with Call of Duty, but the response that we saw this week definitely does have to do with Call of Duty. So basically, for the $3.6 billion, Sony bought Bungie, the creators of Destiny. They're also working on a future game as well. But when this happened, afterwards, Sony and Bungie put out a Q&A. And basically what they said in this is that, first of all, Bungie was still going to be self-publishing their titles, and the creative work was all going to be done internally at Bungie. Basically, they're just paying for Bungie so that they have rights. We'll probably have some like DLC early or something like that, but they specifically stated that they were not going to make any future or current Bungie games PlayStation exclusives. Now, just looking at it, you could see that this is just a way that they are doing it, but I actually think that this specifically is a little bit of a clapback at Microsoft. The reason why I say that is because with everything that we are seeing, with Microsoft now owning Call of Duty, what this could do is make it so that they could just put it on Xbox and just put it on PC. But by Sony doing this, if Microsoft then goes ahead and makes Call of Duty or any other Activision Blizzard games only on those Microsoft platforms, Microsoft now looks like the bad guy, because Sony is going out and saying, hey, we want everyone to be able to play our games. Yes, we own them and we're going to make money off of them, but everyone should be playing these. If Microsoft now goes and steps in the bud and says, hey, these are only on our platforms, they now look like the bad guy. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Sony continue to do this. Now, let's be clear. First thing you need to know is that this acquisition of Bungie is not just a straight clapback at Microsoft. This has been in the works for months and months, even longer than the Microsoft acquisition. But I think the response and what they are saying to the given public is a response to Microsoft. I could be wrong at this, but what does this tell us about Call of Duty? If Call of Duty becomes a platform exclusive for Microsoft, it would look very bad. So going along the lines with whatever we have seen thus far, with Microsoft saying, hey, no, Call of Duty is still going to be on all these platforms. We're going to make sure all of these deals that have been made previously are fulfilled, all of this stuff. This is kind of once again supporting that. Now, the other thing is that in a recent interview, Phil Spencer said that this deal is going to take 6 to 18 months to fully go through and the purchase to go all the way through. Now, those 18 months lead us to June 2023, which is that date that people are saying that Microsoft would then own Call of Duty. But with him saying that in the interview, it could be as soon as 6 months that this fully goes through and Microsoft actually takes over. I don't see that happening. I think June 2023 is actually a pretty solid date, but it could be earlier. And as we find out more, as we get more information, I'll keep you guys involved. But things are looking interesting for Call of Duty. And I think this is going to be the year that we look back and say, wow, this is when Call of Duty took a turn. Is it going to be for the better or for the worse? I don't know, but time will tell, and we will be following it all the way through. So let me know what you think down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, all of that jazz. We got season 2 just around the corner, so stay tuned for that. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars.